Surprisingly, gardening during the winter is probably one of the busiest times. A lot of people think it's the summer, but really you're doing the groundwork and the preparation for the spring and the year ahead. Hi, my name is Neil Miller. I'm the head gardener here at Hever Castle. Job for autumn, winter is good old-fashioned mulching. Preparing the beds for the spring. It serves so many purposes. It will keep the moisture in the soil to help the plants. It keeps the weeds down, which is a great must. And also it looks pleasing to the eye. Here it's all shredded bark. It's some trees that have been cut down because they've been damaged or diseased. But you must kind of put the mulch down maybe 5 to 6 centimetres. If you put a small bit down, it will just wash away, serve no purpose whatsoever. So a good mulch and your plants will really benefit in the new year. Another job that you kind of sort of do in the autumn and kind of early winter is if you've got any fruit trees, you need to kind of prune them down, a bit of a spur prune. You can see the long stem at the top. You snip it just before a leaf bud there, and that will promote the growth and the fruiting spurs for the following year. Funny enough, a lot of people think nothing flowers during the winter, but these do. All the pansies, the violas, the primulas, you kind of grow them on now, you put them out in the garden in November, and they will give you colour all the way through the winter. Ray of sunshine on the dullest of winter days. Get your pots kind of planted up and your baskets for the spring bulbs. Small daffodils, tete-a-tete, tulips, and obviously lots of kind of the winter pansies and the violas. Rule of thumb is you plant them 3 times the depth. You plant them into the soil, cover them up, and then on top you can plant some of your little winter bedding that you can get from any of the garden centres, tulips, primulas, and you then just put those in like that. Don't necessarily worry about the pansy or the primula being on top of the bulb, because the bulb will find its way round. These will get through the heaviest winters. You could have a layer of snow on them top and they will survive. So don't worry about that. If the cold weather comes, leave them be. They will come through once the weather gets warmer. A lot of people forget we put food out for the birds. We leave the seed heads on the plants for them food, but they've got to have a drink like us. So if you don't have a bird bath in your garden, you can just put down a kind of flower pot tray, fill it with water, put it on the ground, and they will love it. Just make sure each morning you go out there and you just put some kind of warm water on it just to defrost it, so the birds can have a drink during those cold mornings. This perennial here is called Verbena bonarensis, quite a very popular one in the gardens. This one will do the seed dispersal and collection for you. We don't collect the seeds for this one. We leave all the seed heads on during the winter. The wind and the insects will then drop the seeds all over the place for you. As you can see over here, these haven't been planted by any of my gardeners. This is just Mother Nature and the seed flying through the air, popping down and germinating. One of the questions that I'm asked loads of times, and a lot of people ask, when do you cut down your perennials? And a perennial is a plant that sort of dies down during the winter and it then pops back the following year. A lot of them we actually do leave during the autumn and the winter, purely for interest. Look at this. You know, when everything sort of dies down in the garden, everything is beautifully floating around in the wind. When you have a lovely frosty morning, the frost on the grasses and some of the perennials is a delight. And also you're very lucky, you see lots of cobwebs during sort of November and December. Really is very kind of artistic. And the other key thing is, which I really like, is this time of year you're leaving, the flowers have done their best, they're now going to seed. Key thing is you want to grow some free plants. Go on around now when the seed is very light and fluffy and dry. Pop that in a little sort of brown paper bag. You can see them flying around there. They will settle down and seed elsewhere, and then you can plant those out in some little pots in the spring. One of the most exciting and interesting parts of my job is every day is different, but it's working through the seasons and working alongside and for Mother Nature. You never know what Mother Nature's going to throw at you.